The order has been given. Not a warning, not a show of force, an order. As of this moment, 2,500 United States Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, the most battle-ready amphibious force on the planet, are moving. Right now, they are not preparing to move. They are not on standby. They are already gone. USS Tripoli, a 46,000-ton America-class amphibious assault ship, is cutting through the Indian Ocean at maximum sustainable speed. Its flight deck carries AV-8B Harrier jets. Its hangar bays hold CH-53E Sea Stallion helicopters. Its well deck is loaded with AAV-7 amphibious assault vehicles pre-staged for a beach landing that Iran has no answer for. Destination: the Strait of Hormuz, the same 21-mile choke point that the IRGC has spent 3 weeks trying to close. They failed, and now the hammer is coming. Stay with us. Because what is unfolding in the next 72 hours will change everything. 48 hours ago, USS Tripoli was anchored at White Beach Naval Facility in Okinawa, Japan. Then the call came. Within 6 hours, the tarmac at Marine Corps Air Station Futenma was alive. Ground crews ran equipment checks under floodlights. The whine of CH-53E turbines filled the night air as rotor blades were unlocked and spun up. Fuselages were loaded with ammunition pallets, medical kits, communications gear, and combat rations for 30 days of sustained operations. This was not a training exercise. The loadout told that story clearly. Marines from the 31st MEU's ground combat element, drawn from the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, moved in full combat kit, helmets, body armor, rifles slung forward. These are not rear echelon troops. The 31st MEU is specifically designed for one mission: rapid forced entry into denied hostile territory. They know where they are going. On the waterfront, USS Tripoli's well deck flooded as the ship prepared to receive its amphibious assault vehicles. The AAV-7A1, a tracked armored vehicle that can launch directly from a ship into open ocean and drive onto a beach, was loaded by crane and secured. 8 of them, each carrying 21 fully equipped Marines. Meanwhile, the flight deck came alive. 2 AV-8B Harrier jets, short takeoff and vertical landing strike aircraft, were rolled into position. Avionics checks completed, ordnance loaded. These aircraft can operate from a ship smaller than a traditional carrier, making USS Tripoli a floating airbase that can position itself within striking distance of Iranian coastal positions without requiring a fixed land base. Tehran cannot hit what it cannot find, and right now, it cannot find USS Tripoli. V-22 Osprey tiltrotor aircraft, 12 of them from Marine Medium. Tiltrotor Squadron 265 were staged for launch. The Osprey can take off like a helicopter, then rotate its engines to fly like a fixed-wing aircraft. Range over 900 miles, speed 280 knots, payload 32 fully equipped Marines per aircraft or 10,000 pounds of cargo. In 12 Ospreys, the 31st MEU can insert 384 combat Marines behind Iranian lines before Tehran's radar operators have time to file a threat report. The hydraulics hissed as the final cargo ramp sealed shut. The ship's engines, 4 Marine diesel engines generating 70,000 shaft horsepower, increased to full deployment speed. USS Tripoli left Okinawa's harbor lights behind and disappeared into open ocean. Estimated time to the Strait of Hormuz, 72 hours. To understand why this deployment is decisive, you need to understand the geography. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. Through that 21-mile gap flows approximately 20% of the world's oil supply. Every supertanker bound for Europe and Asia must pass through it. For the past 3 weeks, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy has been attempting to mine those waters using fast attack boats, suicide drones, and contact mines dropped from surface vessels at night. This is the IRGC playbook, asymmetric harassment designed to deter commercial shipping without triggering a direct confrontation with U.S. carrier-based air power. That playbook expires the moment the 31st MEU arrives. The IRGCN fast boat threat relies on speed and concealment. Small, low-signature vessels operating close to Iran's coastline, protected by shore-based anti-ship missile batteries. Traditional naval forces like destroyers and frigates struggle to operate in shallow littoral waters where Iranian fast boats have the maneuverability advantage. The 31st MEU is built for exactly this environment. Its amphibious assault vehicles can pursue fast boats into waters where larger U.S. Navy vessels cannot follow. Its CH-53E Sea Stallion helicopters, with a combat range of 550 miles and a payload of 16,000 pounds, SAL can insert Marine Raider teams onto Iranian-held islands in the Strait to neutralize shore-based missile systems. There are 14 such islands in and around the Strait of Hormuz, and the IRGC uses them as forward operating bases with pre-positioned weapons caches, communications equipment, and fuel stores for fast boats. Every one of those islands is now a target. The operational sequence is straightforward. Phase 1. USS Tripoli's AV-8B Harriers establish air superiority over the strait. Without air cover, the IRGCN fast boat fleet is exposed on open water. Harrier pilots do not need a 1,000-foot carrier runway. They can operate from USS Tripoli's flight deck, eliminating the need for a carrier battle group in confined strait waters. Phase 2. V-22. Ospreys insert Marine Raider teams onto target islands under cover of darkness to suppress shore-based capabilities and destroy communications infrastructure, fuel, and weapons caches. Phase 3. AV-7 amphibious assault vehicles launched directly from USS Tripoli conduct sweeping operations through the shipping lane. The strait reopens. Pentagon planners estimate the timeline from Tripoli's arrival to operational control of the strait at approximately 18 hours. Tehran has been trying to close the strait for 3 weeks. The United States Marine Corps could reopen it in less than a day. In Tehran, the response has reportedly been panic. IRGC commanders, who believed the operation could continue under American restraint, are now watching a 46,000-ton amphibious assault ship heading toward their naval forces with 2,500 Marines on board, along with air assets, armored vehicles, and a self-contained expeditionary combat force that requires no host nation support and no fixed infrastructure. Iran's shore-based Noor anti-ship missiles, derived from the Chinese C-802, have an approximate range of 120 kilometers, but at that distance, defensive systems such as electronic warfare, interception measures, and escort vessels would likely engage threats long before they reach terminal guidance. Iran's aging air fleet, including Su-24s and F-14 Tomcats, would struggle to challenge modern U.S. air power in a sustained engagement. Meanwhile, the IRGC fast boat fleet faces a force specifically trained to counter it in littoral waters. Reports from inside Tehran have described emergency meetings among national security officials as leadership attempts to coordinate a response amid strained communications and fragmented command structures. While those discussions continue, the distance continues to close. The difference between militaries often comes down to preparation. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit trains continuously for rapid response amphibious operations, including scenarios involving the Strait of Hormuz, fast boat swarms, and island-based missile threats. For them, this type of mission is not theoretical. It is the scenario they rehearse repeatedly. Over the next several days, the situation around the Strait of Hormuz will continue to develop. The movement of naval forces, the status of shipping lanes, and the responses from regional actors will shape what happens next. If you want continued updates as events unfold, stay tuned for the next briefing. The Marines are moving, and the world will be watching what happens next.